There are many differences between the manga and the anime of Dragon Ball Z. We are going to be looking at some of the more major ones, three to be exact. Now, for number three, Majin Buu, when he turns to Kid Buu and destroys planet Earth, he is seen blowing up planet after planet and going to the other world, and he is, presumably going to blow up that planet as well, as he's charging up a very big ball with his hand, and you can see Krillin and Yamcha trying to fight him, and Piccolo had previously done that. However, and then afterwards, what ends up happening is Goku and Vegeta decide, instead of going to the other world, they power up to get the attention of Kid Buu to come to the planet of the Kais. And so that does not happen in the original manga. In the original manga, what actually happens is, instead of Kid Buu going to the other world, he doesn't go to the other world at all. And Vegeta and Goku don't actually end up powering up in order to attract Kid Buu to come. And so Kid Buu just teleports over there and he finds them. There is no other world, and there's no Goku and Vegeta powering up in order to attract Kid Buu to come. Now, number two is also quite important because for people who are trying to keep track of power levels, I know there's a whole power scaling and power level community, but just generally speaking, when having conversations, discussions or debates about Dragon Ball Z, you're going to talk about different characters and how strong they are. And in the anime of Dragon Ball Z, when Kid Buu first goes to the Kai's planet and Goku and Vegeta play rock, paper, scissors, Goku wins, and so therefore he's going to get to fight Kid Buu first. Kid Buu goes to sleep. He's presumably very bored or very, just sort of zoned out. And what proceeds is Goku goes Super Saiyan 2 and he starts fighting Kid Buu in what looks like a pretty even-handed fight. Like, he's holding his own quite a bit, and it's a good fight to watch. It was certainly enjoyable, but in the original manga, this doesn't happen at all. There is no Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Kid Buu. That's not a fight that actually happens. Instead, he immediately powers up into Super Saiyan 3 instead of going to Super Saiyan 2, which makes more sense because the idea of Kid Buu or Goku at Super Saiyan 2 being able to hold his own against Kid Buu is pretty darn outlandish. So it is pretty important because it throws off everyone's understanding of power levels and who's stronger than who. I chose this one as number one because I felt that it was one of the... Actually, no, I take that back. The most emotional scene and the best scene in all of Dragon Ball Z, and that is because in the midst of a huge kamehameha struggle between Gohan and Cell, which is going to determine whether or not, who's going to win and what happens to the planet and what happens to Earth, Gohan is seen losing, and so all the Z fighters jump in. Krillin, Yamcha, Piccolo, and Tien all come in. First Piccolo, then Tien and Yamcha, and then Krillin. They all come in. They're shooting beams at Cell in what is shown and exemplified as a team effort among the Z fighters to survive. And that is partially why it's such a great scene, is because they are all together trying to fight for their lives and for their safety and their future. And so it's a very emotional moment because everybody is fighting for their lives. Now, and then Vegeta later on comes in and he does an attack on Cell, which distracts Cell, and then Gohan ends up killing him because he got distracted. Now, the problem is none of the other characters jumped into the fight in the manga. In the original manga, the only person to actually jump in is Vegeta. That's it. Vegeta does his attack, and Gohan is the one who finishes him off after the distraction. However, none of the other guys jump in. Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, none of them jump into the fight. And this is actually a scene that is far better in the anime because of it. Because that added so much suspense, it added so much emphasis, it added so much emotion, and it just added quality to the story, which was what made it just such an amazing scene.